Hello! This will be my first attempt at a video to be posted for the enrichment of the reloading community. I've been involved in reloading in the past. Took a rather long hiatus, but I have recently set my loading presses back up. And I have a couple of Dillon presses, and I share the frustration of everybody else in the reloading community about this. The metering adjustment bolt, or screw, whichever you choose to call it, on a Dillon powder measure. This is a pain in the butt. It's hard to adjust by hand. You have to dig out a wrench, and because the wrench gives you a serious amount of leverage, it's really tough to adjust this thing precisely, or in small increments. So I've looked around, and I know there's a lot of stuff on the internet with people that are 3D printing larger knobs. There are some references to some knobs that are available from the hardware store. Specifically, I've heard Ace Hardware mentioned. Unfortunately, the Ace Hardware in my town doesn't stock that particular piece of hardware. So I got looking at it, and it occurred to me, being the cheap SOB that I am, that there might be alternatives to spending money on something that somebody put together in a 3D printer or some commercial solution. And I got looking at this thing, and I realized that the size of the head on this bolt is 7/16. So my thought went to, all I need is something that can slide over a 7/16 dimension bolt head. But it needs to be something that will contour to the flats on the bolt head. Well, here's what I did. It occurred to me that I have a bunch of these on hand. These are a large plastic wire nut. And I looked at it, and I looked at the bolt head and went, that's cool, that would go right over there. If only there were some way to make it contour. I'm not a machinist, and I'm not going to sit there and machine 6 flats into it. But what I do have is another bolt with a 7/16 bolt head. And I also have, give me a second, excuse the clutter in my garage, which is more like a dumpster with walls than a garage, this. A method to elevate the temperature of that bolt head to a sufficient degree to make the plastic conform to it. So, let's go ahead. Noisy torque, isn't it? You know, this thing doesn't need to be red hot. I already did one of these, that's why it's burning a little bit. Let's take the wire nut, square it up on that, push it down a little bit, and I can actually feel it sinking deeper around the bolt head. That should be enough. Let me pull it off. There's a little bit of flash here. I'll clean that off, but lo and behold, I have 6 flats inside that little gizmo now. Little bit of flash. Let's get that out of there. Being uncooperative. Sorry. There we go. Now let's see what happens now. I'll pick up my powder measure. I pick up my modified wire nut. And I put that on that. And now, guess what? I got a neat little knurled knob that makes it really easy to adjust the powder measure by hand. And the cost to me is, I don't know, all of about, what, 8-10 cents that it cost me for the wire nut. Now let me show you one other thing, because I thought this was really cool. And I got a couple of these powder measures. So I already modified one. And the last step was, you pull this one off of here. Ah, they fit really well. It's not like they're going to fall off readily. Last step was to grab my handy label maker and make a little tape that I could wrap around the end of the wire nut, indicating the direction of rotation that will add more powder. For me, this is great. I don't really need a micrometer level powder measure adjustment. These are pistol presses. Once I set the charge weight that I want. These will probably not be changed for a long time. I don't change that many calibers. I've got one press set up for 9mm, one for 45 ACP. I don't see that I'm going to be changing those. They're production presses. That's what I made. That's what I put them up for, was pistol cartridges. Anyways, hope this helps you guys. Like I say, almost free, as opposed to $5 for a cheapy piece out of an Ace Hardware, or more for somebody that's 3D printing them, or way more for some of the commercial solutions out there. Thanks a lot. Hopefully this is the start of some additional videos. But this is my first one. Forgive the kind of impromptu setting. This is not a photo studio. This is my garage. Have a good day, guys.